Good evening, Marina.
Hi, Dan. Is it Dan? Hi, Nora.
Yeah.
Carrie,
Hi, Marina.
are you visible to anybody? Jackie?
Oh, sorry. Now I am.
There you are. How's everybody?
Good. You?
Good.
On this pre-election night?
Thank you for reminding me.
Was this supposed to be our hour off?
I just briefly forgotten.
Good for you.
Maybe it's more, everyone should just, go to bed early. But we'll let what happened will happen. Wake up
Yeah.
on Wednesday and just be surprised.
Sounds like a plan. We don't have a lot of options, right? So we kind of have to do that.
Right.
Maybe several days afterwards.
Hmm. Hi, Violet.
Hello, how are you, Marina? And
Good.
Carrie?
Hello,
Laura,
Violet.
and Jackie.
Hi, Larry.
Let's see where they have the little boxes. Oh, goodness.
I love the painting behind you, Violet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Is that one of yours?
Yes. After years of doing artwork, and it's hard to see. It looks like that. It's about 2 by 4 feet. I have all this stuff stuck in closets and stuff. And I said, why in the world do I have other people's artwork all over my house? Put it in my house. It's a lot easier. And Larry, I'll get you Ron's information.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
No problem at all. So it's on the sides. So, Jackie, did you, before we start, because I think we're still waiting for some other people, right? You had mentioned that perhaps, you have no, you're muted. Okay.
Uh-oh. Can you hear us, Jackie?
But we can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Hmm?
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
You're on mute,
No, she said I know.
but it says she's on mute. You're on mute. It's your microphone is on mute.
Yeah, she knows. I guess there's something, a technical problem, I guess. Okay.
Or noise in the background or something.
Oh.
One of the new things they just rolled out with Zoom is that if you are
Oh,
on,
Dan, can you unmute Jackie? You're unintentionally muted. Poor Jackie. Free Jackie.
I'm here.
There
I'm
she
here.
is.
Oh, there
Thank you,
she
Dan.
is.
Thank you, Dan. I could
We're
not
worried
mute myself
about you.
because the host had me muted, so I guess that's how it goes.
it was not intentional.
Okay, I won't hold
What
it
do you
against you.
With the new rollout they just did with Zoom, if you're on mute, if you just press your space bar, it will
Yeah.
unmute.
Oh,
Voice.
but it was saying to me that the host needed to unmute me.
That is very odd, but looks like you're all good though.
Maybe because I'm just a panelist and you're the host. I don't know. There's all these bizarre things. Anyway, I'm here.
Oh, I think Nora needs to be unmuted also.
Oh, there she is. I see something.
Space bar.
Oh, that's
That's
Who
the
else
best
can we
part.
set free?
There you go.
No, I think it's because Dan is the host.
Mhm.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
I'm trying. So wait.
Nora, can we hear you? Are you good?
Oh, there you are. Hi, Elizabeth.
I know.
Nora, we haven't heard from you yet.
Me?
Oh, there you
There
are.
she is.
Yeah. No,
All
yeah,
right.
I'm unmuted.
Let me get myself in a better position and see. Okay.
So we're now streaming on YouTube. So whenever you're ready to start the meeting, please feel free to do so.
Okay. And we are being recorded, right?
Yes,
Yes.
on
Okay.
YouTube and through Zoom.
Okay. Do we have enough people to start?
I mean, I think so.
Yes, we do. Okay. So let's call the meeting to order. It is 7:01. Did everyone get a chance to look at, first, is everybody doing okay? Just checking in, everyone's
Yeah.
So
You
far.
need a
in there.
motion to order,
Good.
you need a
Not
motion to open the meeting.
A
second,
motion to open the meeting. Could I have a motion to open the meeting?
I motion to open the meeting. Does somebody want a
Can someone
second?
second that?
I can second.
Okay.
All right, Elizabeth seconds.
Elizabeth.
All right. Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes?
Yeah.
That came around? Did anybody have any changes or comments? I got yours, Shari, so those will get incorporated in. So can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion.
Violet and Shari seconded, thank you. So moving right along, we'll move to the mask quilt update from Marina.
Okay, so we're finally doing really well with the mask quilt. It's happening. I'm picking up the masks from the junior high school and the high school tomorrow. And I expect we're going to have about 160 to 180 masks at the end of all of this, usable masks. I already culled through some of the ones that are not usable. They've either faded over time or, yeah, they just pretty much faded. So we have a little subcommittee that's going to be gathering, and Larry and Melinda, who else is on the subcommittee?
To curate?
Yeah, is it you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Okay, great. So I'll email you about when we're going to meet, but we have permission from the library to use their conference room downstairs, the room where the speaker series was held, the presentation room. So I'll bring over the canvas, we can lay out the quilt on the floor, and they're fine with 3 of us. If you're fine, you guys, we can decide apart from this meeting. But if we go down there, it's a large room. We can come in from the side door, we can distance, we'll have masks on and all that. And I thought that we could work together to actually lay this whole thing out. I've done the dimensions. I kind of figured out with Larry, like how we're going to do this whole thing. I've spoken with the library. We'd like to have it installed on November 30th. So at the end of this month, it will be up. Based on the amount of masks we have, I'm thinking that we might have to do 2 quilts. So, which is really a good thing. And then maybe we can hang one over at the high school is what I'm thinking, at Rhinebeck, because the junior high school and the high school have really heavily participated in this program. So yeah, so that's the update on the quilt. That we might have 2 quilts. We went from a big 0 to 2 quilts, and we're on course to curate the whole thing at the end of this week.
When I come with you, I think I probably will have maybe 15 more for
Oh
you.
my God.
We did some, and then I got a package and passed some out to some kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade Rhinebeck moms. So we've done a couple too, and I'm collecting, so I'll bring them when I come.
Awesome. That's really good news.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's nice after trying so hard, Marina, and keep putting it off that it finally clicked.
Yeah.
Because
I
it would
know.
have been really disheartening for you.
I feel like we're vindicated somehow. And
Yes, the universe
And
has decided.
I spoke to Linda over at the library today, and she was saying, you know, how long are we going to keep it up? And I said, I don't know. You know, I think as long as COVID is relevant, because it's an art installation of the moment. And she said, yeah, we'd like to keep it up during all of COVID, but right now we have a 2-month
Okay.
window, and we'll see. But right now we have until February. So I'm
Excellent.
excited. I'm
Great.
really excited.
That's
Nice.
great
Um,
news.
And on the side, we'll put together a little publicity plan, and the library will be helping us with that, and we'll be doing our own, and Robert, and we'll talk about all that. But it's all good news in the mask quilt world. So
Who else is on the
Good.
subcommittee? I missed that, sorry.
Elizabeth, Larry, Melinda. We should say that Carrie has volunteered to take over the minutes for now, and so thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. That will explain my bugging you to repeat things.
Please bug all of us, because this is your first time. So whatever you need, we will help you. So anyway, back to
Great.
you, Jackie.
Okay, so let's move on to the Arts and Crafts Marketplace, the update from Shari.
Well, I think we've got 100 members so far. It's kind of a learning curve with Facebook, and it's a little frustrating because you can invite people through Facebook. You can invite your friends through Facebook, but when you do that, they're not alerted to the fact that they're being invited to this. So I started sending out messages to these people saying, if you answer all the questions and agree to the rules, you'll automatically be approved. And people are like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. So it was then that I realized that when you're invited to something, it just goes into an invited sort of subheading in your Facebook, on your Facebook page somewhere, but unless you actively go to it, you don't know what you've been invited to. So there's like 122 people who haven't answered any questions or agreed to the rules because they don't even realize they've been invited to this. So I'm just leaving them there. And if they realize at one point and they want to join, then they can join.
Did you say 120 new other people?
122 people were invited to join.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Well, more had been invited, and some people actually knew. So they went on, they accepted the invitation. These are people who have not accepted the invitation, so they don't even realize.
These are people who want to sell and also people who maybe want to buy, right? Because I sent a few invitations to like 3 friends who I knew always went to the Arts and Crafts Fair, and I thought, oh, they'd love to know that it's going on virtually, but they probably haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, if there are people, well, so now here's the thing, that if someone was invited through our Facebook page, it seems as if they were automatically added.
Ah, okay.
I can't figure it out. It like there's no consistent, and I tried to Google it and whatever, and what's supposed to be happening isn't happening. But Jackie, if there are people you think who you've invited who would really like it, send them an email or something.
Okay.
I invited you to the thing, or join it. Just tell them to join. Send them the flyer.
Okay.
But we've
Maybe
got,
that'll be part of the whole PR discussion of how to get the word out. We can figure out how to all invite our friends.
right. So two of the artists have already sold lots of stuff, which is
Great.
amazing. Yeah, really amazing. So it works. We just have to get more people to become members, and I think 100 people within, like, what's it been, a month, less than a month. It was pretty good.
Absolutely.
And
How many artists are part of it, Sherry?
I'd have to go back and look to see who's shoppers and who are artists.
5, 10, 15,
I honestly, I'm not really
Okay.
sure. So I have listed it on our page on the Village from Mamaroneck website, but it has not been blasted out yet.
Sherry, will Lori or Jack or the ladies and gentlemen at the library put it in their weekly library goings on, because it used to be in the library, or are they hesitant for that?
No, I sent it to them. Linda said that she would put it in their electronic scroll.
Okay.
I sent it to the library, to Patch, to the Facebook, the Instagram, the Rye Arts Center, Mamaroneck Artist Guild,
Next door.
Next Door, Rhinebeck Moms, Love Larchmont. I can't remember where it was.
LMC Media.
Oh, you know what? I didn't send it to LMC.
They'll put it on their thing, right? That would be good. Another.
Yeah. I'll send it to help me out here.
Dina.
Dina, yes, thank you. Oh my God, I'm
Mhm.
getting old. Did you just see that Jamie got married?
Who's getting married in October? Yeah.
Yeah, she just
Excellent.
got
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Congratulations.
for her.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for the village to blast it out. And I know that Robert was having a personal emergency, so I haven't seen it though, blasted out yet.
Should we be trying to find other people to participate, like,
Yeah.
artists and
Well,
customers?
so I have, I sent it out to to the artists who participated in the 2019 Arts and Crafts Fair. They all wrote back to me, that's a great idea, I'm totally interested. And I didn't see anyone, well, most of them joined. And so I sent another email and I said, okay, you have to follow the directions that I gave you. You have to, join Facebook. It's a Facebook group, and still like nothing. So a lot of them did, but a lot of them didn't. But I'm going to go back to years past and just send an email to everybody who participated in years past. So we'll see. That's a lot of people, actually.
Sounds
That's
good.
it. Yeah.
Do
I
we need
find
to
that-
try to, oh, sorry,
I
Larry.
get-
Do we need to try to help them in some way to like take photos or do like these are the steps you need to, like,
Oh,
is it a technical issue for the people who haven't joined?
No, I don't think so. I've spelled it out in
Okay,
very clear instructions. So
okay.
So is it that there are people who may not be on Facebook yet? You think that's the issue?
For a couple of them, I think that's an issue. And for others, they just don't have websites or Etsy stores, and maybe they're reluctant to sell, through email. I don't know. A lot of people sell just through their email on the other website that I had modeled it after. So, I don't know.
I find I must get, I suspect like you, Sherry, at least once every 2 days, I get a notification from one of the artists of a product that's being sold. And is that a feature set that's part of it now that I'm part of that group?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
I think so. 'Cause
Product that's being sold or that they're offering?
I'll forward it to all of you when I get the next one.
When somebody puts a post up about a product that they're offering, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
you're
That's
getting?
what I get too.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I had it was very funny because I was going back and forth with one of the artists who crochets, Valeria, and about something else. She's an opera singer, so we were going back and forth about something else. And I said, oh, by the way, you really should get black yarn and do an RBG one that's black and has a white collar on it. And so she went out, she made it in a day and it sold right away.
Wow.
So that's her new line now is going to be RBG ponchos.
Hopefully you get a royalty from it.
Yeah, right.
$1 off of each one that she sells, you'll make millions, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's good. Actually, I saw that and it was cute.
It
like
was cute.
Off the shoulder, cute little thing. It was nice.
Yeah, it was very cute. So that's it.
Sherry,
right.
how do you know, you said a few of the artists have sold quite a few pieces. Did they tell you or how do
Yeah.
you, I'm just wondering how. Mhm.
Yeah, they emailed me.
Good.
Yeah. So one of them, well, Val has sold a few things, and right away, like within the first week, I think it was Claire Cohen. It was one of the Potters, sold quite a few things. I think it was Claire. And her
Those were
stuff.
pretty. They had a nice finish. Those were really
Yeah.
nice.
Do you guys think we should do like a banner? Like, you know how we have the arts and crafts banner? We should announce this virtual arts and crafts fair for, you know, how we get the word out on the street by the banners.
Oh, like a physical banner.
Yeah, an actual banner. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the problem, yes, that would be great, but like, I hate to say this, but there is a learning curve for people who are older.
Yeah.
And they may need more specific instructions. So instead of a banner, maybe if we made flyers that we left at the library, because there aren't a lot of other places that you can walk into. Like I wouldn't do a poster, I would do a flyer that people, or remember Jackie, we did those cards?
Yeah, the flyers. Maybe we just need to do those flyers and just have the, you know, the link to the Facebook page. And
Yeah, so if you want, I can send the announcement I had made to Mike at Arborn and just have them make up, like, you know, on regular paper. And I could bring it over to the library.
what do you guys think? Is that a good idea?
Are we going to do the same thing that we did last year, where you go around and have the people that are open, the shop owners that are open, to have them put it in their window? Because people are up and down the avenue, that would be, because if they don't go into the library and that's the only place that you have it, it's a little bit less.
But I have to tell you that the places that take posters, not all of them are really open. I just don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I know everything is so different, but people are used to seeing things in certain places. And if it kind of reminds them, maybe that would also say, oh, this is what they used to do, but this is what they're doing now. Just trying to figure out, because the banner idea and the flyer idea is good, but it's only for the people that would go to the library.
Well, to be honest with you, I might ask Sally if she can blast it out, because that really does work in the village, not outside the village, obviously, but within the village, it really does work to make people aware.
I'm wondering if we, because I'm thinking of using this as a way to increase our own presence as an arts council. And so many people are doing takeout. And I'm wondering if we might be able to work with some of the restaurants on the avenue and do a little bag stuffer, just like a mini banner almost, that just says, you know, do you know you can buy art, you know, or just something really cute and, you know, almost fortune cookie-ish, you know, you just stuff it in every bag.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, that's a good idea.
Because it's super local, and then it kind of gets the businesses involved with the town, you know, with us, and it certainly increases our presence.
Yeah.
So,
You could have some sort of link too, where you say something kind of sweet, like, are you like having date night at home, or are you dining out at home? Well, you can do your Christmas shopping at home.
yeah, that's really cute.
Something that kind of relates to like exactly what they're doing and getting the bag, and then being able to also stay at home,
Yeah.
do all their cute Christmas shopping.
It's that same consistency from what they used to do last year, but they're still able to do it this year.
Right.
They're still
Right.
offering the same.
So the press release that we always did, which always went out around, I think, November. Yeah, I think it was November, always started that way, about buying gifts and, you know, that sort of thing. So now it's just changed. Now you could still buy those gifts just from the comfort of your own home, you know. So we could still, and it's November, so it's good timing.
That
And
sounds like a
it
good
might even
solution.
be-
I like it.
We might even say, you know, thanks for shopping local, you know, just to like incorporate our own consciousness of people supporting our fellow restaurants or stores. So, you know, thanks for shopping local, you know, one more opportunity kind of thing. And whatever makes us a better neighbor in town, I think is a good thing. So,
Well, I wonder if I wonder, Jackie, if we make those cards, and I can't remember, did we make those cards from Arborn? Is that where we got them?
Remember, like a postcard?
Yeah, remember we did the postcards for the gallery show years
That
ago?
was before my time, but
But
yeah, a postcard kind of thing.
I thought you did the gallery show with Joyce Marie.
I
No?
was in the show. I wasn't on the council then, but
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, but we did those cards. So maybe if we do the same thing and give them to like roasters to put by their cash register.
it could be the same kind of card that goes in the takeout bags. It could just be one kind of thing, right? Like one little half sheet or quarter sheet notice.
Right. Well, I was thinking instead of asking them to put it in every bag, just putting it by the cash register so people can see it and take one.
Well,
I don't think they move when we do that. I'm not, I mean, I think we should. It's a good idea to have some there, but if at all, the stores or the restaurants would be amenable.
if you did quarter pages and you just did it on like a heavy paper stock, the village could probably copy it. They might be able to copy it with color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
So versus paying to have a copy.
Mhm, mhm.
But are you doing it as a smaller than just an 8.5 by 11? Or is it, or I don't know what size it is, and therefore can the village do that? Or do we
Well,
have to have it printed where they can chop it?
Well, I mean, we all have paper cutters. If we printed 4 on a page and just use paper cutter to cut it, that's all.
Yeah, as long as it's not too thick of a stock,
Mhm.
we should be able to run it through our big copy.
Dan, while you're there, can you unmute Melissa Moak? She's a attendee, or is she?
I think she needs to get an invitation. I've just looked
Oh.
at that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is
Sorry,
Solange-
Melissa.
Also, Melinda is muted.
Oh.
Do you want me to try and send this to Melissa?
What?
Sure. Yeah.
Let me see if I can do this.
Okay.
There we
She
go.
is. I think she's
Okay.
in.
Hi, Melinda.
Ah, are you there? Oh,
I
there's
just, I
Melissa.
wasn't taking that personally.
Oh, good. Melissa's
It's
there.
awfully quiet over there.
Yeah, well, you
I
heard
don't
these
know why.
children back here, you might mute me.
The first half dozen who logged in, I don't think had any issues. Was the last couple of automatically been put on mute. I don't know why that's happening.
Oh, well, we're all good now.
Um,
Okay,
Is it
so
appropriate or inappropriate to maybe contact I'm in Rhinebeck and I don't know how Mamaroneck's schools work, but the PTSA is really, really active in email stuff and advertising and blasts. And I also know that because we're in a hybrid model, there's a lot of communication, like a weekly letter from Hope's teacher, which is what we did in class, and announcements that are going on. I don't know if it's appropriate or inappropriate to try to get in with that, where a lot of like parents will probably are checking in consistently for those emails. And this might be a mutual benefit where they, appreciate the opportunity to shop at home. And also then we're kind of not infiltrating, but just kind of making ourselves known there too. I don't know if that maybe crosses too much of a boundary where it wouldn't be a welcome advert. I'm not sure.
You can only ask, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you guys are, if anybody's comfortable with that, I can even just ask Hope's teacher what kind of the protocol is on that, and if they would be willing to include something that's kind of outside of school but has to do with the town, and see what she says. 'Cause she might just-
Include via what? When you're thinking of including, are you talking about posting on? You're not talking about the site, like Rhinebeck.
Well, so for example, I get a lot of emails from Rhinebeck PTSA, which is, parent teacher student association, which is, meetings that they're having, fundraising that they're doing, when to buy banners and flags. And then I also get a lot more communication this year from, for example, Hope's specific teacher, which is like the Friday newsletter, which is things going on around the school, things going on in the class. And I wonder if this is something that would just be something that they could kind of keep in consistently over the next 4 to 5 weeks. In those sort of communications.
Does Kathy Kastenbaum still send out all the blasts for the PTSA?
No.
I don't think so.
No, the PTSA, I bet I could look it up on my emails, but I don't know the specific person for the PTSA. I know that Pat Tuna was doing most of it last year, but I'm not sure if he's doing it this year.
Because what I had done in the past, Kathy used to be the person for the PTSA who would blast everything out, and I would just send her whatever and say, you know, is this appropriate, whatever. So whoever, if you could find out whoever that person is, you just have to look on the PTSA roster. It'll be, I don't know if you guys still do the directory. It'll say in the directory who their communications person is, and then I believe I sent you probably weren't on the council yet. I could send you the PDF or a JPEG of the announcement, and you could just send it to her and ask, you know, is this something PTSA can blast out?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, good. All right.
There's a Mr. Peter Nicholas as an attendee. I don't know if he was invited, or if there's something specific he wants to speak about. Do you want to allow him to speak now, or do you want to?
I don't know who that is. Does anybody know him?
No, but that should probably be other business, right? If from the public wants to speak.
Oh, Peter Nicholas is just listening. Okay, Peter, no problem. Sounds good. All right, let's move on then to retiring members. We have a few people who are actually, according to the website, up for rotating off. But I'm not sure it's right, Nora. I asked Sally to look into this.
I thought I was supposed to rotate off, wasn't I?
But you're not. Marina, you say 2020, I think, because you filled in for someone else. Will Sally just kind of let us all know who's retiring?
Yeah, those will go out, you know, right after, like probably next week.
Okay.
Sally will go through the roster.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find, while you're doing that, I will look. Okay.
Okay. So we'll just keep going and we'll come back to this.
Okay.
So let's have a discussion about the Artist Registry, because this has been a thing that's it's on our agenda and we've talked about it a bunch of times. And so I think it's time to kind of get something going with this. It feels like through the arts and crafts marketplace, we might have a good list, like people who are interested in maybe becoming part of a registry. I guess let's just talk about it a little bit more. For those of you who haven't been in the discussion, we've kind of kicked around the idea of having like a listing of local artists, writers, painters, drawers, musicians, just that, you know, local people can draw on to, you know, make things or buy things or, you know, use them as their artists. But we haven't quite gotten it together. So would you guys think this would be a worthwhile kind of endeavor, you know, a place where, say, you needed a mural painted in your dining room and you could, you know, look up who are the local muralists in Mamaroneck, something like that. What do you guys think?
I like the idea. I've always liked the idea.
Okay.
Now more than ever too, if you had an arsenal of artists at the ready for even sort of extracurricular tutoring, or people aren't doing big classes anymore. So if you had local people who lived in the community and you knew were kind of safe, and you could do tutoring or private lessons even, or, you know, commission, I think that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good idea too, to add to that.
I think we had talked about once, because the village website, our page on the village website has been refurbished and everything, having the registry on that page, it's an easy place for everyone to find it, would be great once we get it going.
Yeah, there's something cool about having that sort of LinkedIn vibe where it's like available for commissions, tutoring, expertise, editing, and, you know, there would just be maybe like list of things that people could say, oh, this person is willing to do these sort of things. And that way the artists could sort of, you know, decide what they feel most comfortable with and decide what their best use of their talents are, you know?
Yeah.
And do we think that can go right through the Village of Mamaronec's website page?
Well,
Like-
no, so I have a login, and so does anyone else have a login?
Mm-mm.
Well,
Oh,
somebody
maybe
does.
Robert, right? Robert, is that
No, but I
Robert?
mean, no one else on the council has a login?
No.
It's, I found it a little complicated to learn, but, so I could log in and I could add things to our page, and it's now it's pretty easy to do. It's in lieu of having a website. So it's like our own little website, and there are links on it to our Facebook page and our Instagram page. And we could either, you know, we'd have to talk about how to do this technically, because since we don't have our own website, you know, we're kind of limited. It's like it's kind of like a database that somebody has to keep up with, right? Someone has to be the database master.
You know, Jamie had designed something just months before she left, and maybe when she's back from her honeymoon, or maybe she probably didn't go, who knows what she did, but anyway, maybe we can get in touch with her and see, because remember we were talking about doing a website, and then the
Yeah.
Artist Registry she designed was really very simple actually, but clear, and I think you know, to have something like that would give us a lot more visibility, and it looks like a more updated format, and then it is, like to your point, Elizabeth, kind of more LinkedIn-y if we have something that really works easily, rather than, you know, going deep into something that's not very inviting.
So did she, so
She
we're
based
gonna-
it off of an Arts Council website, because we had spoken about that. So first she designed a website, and then one of the links was the Artist Registry that she was working on. And
you're
made
going
it look great.
to have to have somebody who's going to be a webmaster then to keep up the
Yeah.
website.
I think that's going to be my job.
Okay. Yeah.
I can try to get in touch with Jamie. I think she did it on Wix, or one of those really easy, simple websites that,
Yeah.
and I think I'm also volunteering to take over the Artist Registry, like trying to really get this to fruition, because it is such a great idea. And if we had this already in place, we would, you know, be so much further ahead with some of these ideas and projects. And
Right.
so-
And if you come up with an announcement for it, I could email it out to,
Right.
you know, all the artists we've worked with over the past 10 years, you know?
Okay.
Well, so here's
All
the thing. It's for local artists.
Yeah. Local-ish. Yeah.
With local.
Local.
Should we say Sound Shore? Because that's where we were thinking last time.
Yeah.
That's
I
what we were
think,
thinking.
I don't think there's enough if we just do Mamaroneck. I mean, I think Sound Shore is
Yeah.
reasonable. What do you guys? Yeah.
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 I think so.
Okay.
And then see where it goes. If it takes off, and
Right.
more people than we can handle at one time, that
Right.
would be fabulous. If we need more, then
I-
we need a little bit further.
I do know Arts Westchester has an extensive registry. I mean, it's huge, and but it's cumbersome, and I mean, there's a big registry there. So this might be a little, you know, smaller and more local, which I
A
think would
little
be
bit
nice.
more user friendly in terms of not being overwhelming people too much.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
nice because it's an identity, a Sound Shore. I mean, it's,
Right.
we're not making up something. It's already here.
Right. Right. Okay.
I would say that before we go out with the registry, the more sound we are with what our intention is around it, the better, the more value we're going to show to the community. So if we really think about what we're offering, like if we say like join and then bullet like invitation to workshops, I mean, I'm sure we can come up with a workshop once a year or more if we really get going. Networking, referrals, like we were talking about before, invitations to local openings, that kind of thing. Like so that they really understand, so that we really understand what this registry, what the value of the registry is.
Good.
That sounds good.
I'm also thinking that if we do those little bag stuffers, we can put Artist Registry information on it.
Yeah.
A great
Just
idea.
Yeah.
packing it all in. Why
Yeah.
not, you know?
Yeah. Sounds good. All right.
What do you
Anyone want to help me with that one?
I'll help you, Jackie, but I'm sure let's get other people.
Okay.
I,
Anyone else? What else? You can let me know later. No pressure, but a couple more.
we will definitely
person
you'll
would-
need help
will-
with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Think about it.
I can help with that too. Technologically, admittedly, I'm not super savvy, but for gathering and for writing what we need to write, I would love to.
okay, excellent. I think we'll work it out then. That sounds great. Thank you.
If you want, I can do proofreading and, for things.
Okay, Melissa, excellent. Thank you.
I'm always up for that too, actually, proofreading type of stuff. Yes.
Okay, good, because I need lots of that actually.
Yay, we're in good shape with
Okay,
proofreading.
good. Excellent.
Jackie, I have an answer to your question about appointments,
Okay,
if you want. So just whenever you want it.
sure. Let's go back to the members
So-
retiring.
There's 4 people who are up this December. It's Elizabeth, who obviously can be reappointed. Like you can only have 2 terms, 2 3-year terms, unless you filled somebody else's term and you were there for less than a year and a half. So you're good.
Okay.
And Violet Violet's up, and she would be good for this term and another term because it was only a year and a half. Marina, it looks like you were there. This is you're just finishing your first term from 2017. Does that make
First
sense?
term, 3 years, yeah.
3 years, yeah. So you're up, so you can come back, and Carrie, you can also come back. So those are the 4 people who are up, and then you can all be reappointed.
Carrie,
if you so choose.
Nora,
Okay.
Nora,
Yeah.
I am almost certain I was supposed to be up this December.
Yeah, and I'm up this December.
No,
Both of you guys say
Sherry
21, I
up.
think.
Nora,
I
is it
know.
my term up this December?
no, you're both up. Sherry's up 12/21, and Jane, you were up last year. You were reappointed this year. I
Forgive
just sent the roster.
That's right.
Forgive me,
actually.
because I feel like I'm being a little bit dense. Does up mean that you are,
Your term is
Your term is over.
Your
Yeah.
first 3-year term is over. Yeah.
okay.
This is my second. term,
2019.
I think.
So the terms that ended in 2019 were
Jane.
Robin Campbell and Jane Dorian. And the 2020 terms were Jamie, Marina, Violet, and Kate. So Jamie and Kate resigned, and so Liz and Carrie were appointed in their stead. And then the 2021 is Jackie, Shari, and Melinda.
But Jane is still a full-fledged
Jane.
member.
Yeah,
Huh?
Jane was reappointed this past December.
Oh.
What I sent you is from last December. I don't have the new roster. We'll get one like next week.
So let's send out the new roster from next week and everybody can take a look at it and look at their own records and we can, confirm everything. If you have a different date, Shari, we can discuss it. I don't think we're gonna figure it out right now.
Okay.
Does that
Whatever.
sound, okay. Okay. So moving on to the publicity manual, the event publicity manual, Marina, is that you?
Did we skip Art on the Avenue?
Oh, I think we did. I'm sorry. Yes, Art on the Avenue. Let's get that in there before that.
All right. We had a meeting, the 4 of us or 5 of us out at the harbor a day ago, and we all kind of brainstormed and came up with ideas. Marina very nicely gave a sort of attack plan, I guess you would call it, a strategy plan that she presented that we all discussed about different things and how we're going to work through each step, because a lot of us, me included, is very new to all of this. I'm not sure about the processes of everything. So, and the idea was, of course, that we're going for May of 2021, where we're going to have 2 weeks where we're going to have the art, of course, available. What we'd like to try and do is have each establishment, this was discussed, adopt an artist, where we would have available artists put together a small little portfolio that they could show. We can show to the owners, and they can decide which artists they would like. So it makes it more intimate for them. So they have a vested interest in that person. And then we would have an opening night kickoff, 5:30 to 8-ish, with people available to walk up and down the avenue, some artwork outside, some artwork inside, perhaps tying that in with some music. Again, it all depends upon how the pandemic goes, what we're doing, what we're able to do. And have the establishments have something about themselves. So when people come in to look at the art, they're also promoting their own businesses, their own restaurants, perhaps menus, perhaps appetizer or something that they could have. And then this would be for, let's say, a month that we would have it open. And during that month, we would continue to advertise, continue to try and get people to flow through, and then see where it builds from here. You know, and we're going to need, the suggestion was made, and Larry volunteered to do it, to do like a kit for the businesses where we would lay out the benefits to them, so we can come with something. We would also, we did, Jade and I walked the avenue and wrote down the names of each of the establishments from the harbor up to the railroad station, of the different types of businesses, where they are, with just a little address. So we have an idea of what we're dealing with as far as people. And we also discussed the artist pool. We discussed, again, getting in touch with the Mamaroneck Artist Guild. I know Pelham has the Art Council in Pelham. The Westchester Artist Group, any local schools that might do art in the area. We have the One River School. I do know that they give classes and they have people that go there, and see how many people we can get, and a general blast out for even with the people that Shari is dealing with about local artists here in the Sound Shore area that might want to put their visual arts in a place where they also would get more exposure and publicity. So that's where we've kind of gotten to. And then of course we've got to deal with where we go from here, with all of the information that we've been starting to gather. And that's kind of it from the hour and 15 minutes we spent last Saturday, the previous Saturday.
I have a question, because I can't recall, maybe I was wrong, but in my mind, I was thinking of restaurants being the primary gallery space, right? But I notice on the list, there are also a lot of other types of establishments. Is that something we would consider expanding to them, or?
Well, I mean, we just basically put everybody down.
Yeah.
Because we don't know who might be available. I mean, some of the bakeries have I noticed they have some space where they could put a piece of art if they wanted to. There was this new Mexican restaurant that doesn't even have a sign out front. That's right near Enzo's. Remember, we passed by? I'm sure, you know, even though it's a smaller establishment, they have a place even for one piece of art to at least get people to come in the door to see them. Roberts, to come in and see them. It doesn't have to be a restaurant. If they're open to the possibility of displaying and thereby creating a whole environment rather than one here and one there, it becomes a leisurely stroll where they can stop. So that's why we put that on.
Right, and I think the reason we included everybody, just to make a map of the avenue, you never know. It could be a different kind of establishment, but yes, we did put ours for all the restaurants, but we added everybody in.
Okay. No, I think it's a great idea.
It's an
The
interesting
more
list
the
to
merrier.
look at. I liked looking at the whole list, you know, just to see.
Because
who's-
I don't, the way I see it, anybody that has a business, it doesn't make a difference whether it's a restaurant business or gift store business or a hair salon.
Right.
It's a business. It's an opportunity to drive into their place and have a presence that may not. I mean, we all do this. We drive by, we say, "Oh, I never even saw that place there before."
Yeah. Mhm.
Remember,
And
would it
and if
be,
it's and if it's successful and it becomes something, we could do something where the artist changes every month or every 2 months or something like that, that would continue to drive the business here the way it does in some parts. I mean, when you go down to, what is it, Red Hook or up to Rhinebeck, where there are a lot of small boutique shops and art shops. And people go, oh, let's go to Rhinebeck for Saturday or Sunday. And they spend the day walking around Cold Spring, going in and out of different places because they've already got that reputation that there's something different to see other than a box store. That's just like every place else. I mean, who's gonna, it doesn't.
I have one question coming from the visual art side is when you hang work or you give work to somebody to hang, that they then often become responsible for it, for its not being damaged or stolen, or I mean, there are going to be some kind of typically the place has an insurance. I don't know if you've thought of that, like, and artists are pretty careful about where they'll put things in terms of keeping everything safe, you know. So
that's something that I have thought about, because God help us, you know, somebody puts a beautiful piece and for some reason it's gone, or it's somebody runs up into it. And I mean, look at what happened to, what was it, a Rembrandt? The kid fell over and put his hand through the Rembrandt in one of the museums in Europe. But that's something, again, that as other people that have more experience doing this kind of thing would bring up that point on how are we going to handle this. But I think,
well, it's a good point, though, because it's something that we need to think about upfront, and to your point, Jackie, like to really present it responsibly, so that we're a step ahead of that, not just letting their own business acumen and business experience and
we have to safeguard it and set it as it's to their benefit to safeguard, it's to their benefit to present it and to honor it, because it is something that.
No, but often you sign a legal document that you're you're letting this person display your work, and then I think we need to think about that as a you know, as the council who's organizing it.
That's a good point. That can be part of the kit that goes out, you know. It's a really, maybe we have, you know, maybe we can talk to somebody, I don't know if Jackie or anybody that in our group or in our from the village, from legal, if anybody can give us some advice, just like a one paragraph on, or, you know, and then the artist can provide their own kind of contract.
Well, so to that point, I think, I don't know if you guys remember when we were still meeting in Village Hall, remember there was that blue wall, and they had asked if we wanted to hang artwork on that wall. So there is artwork there. It's actually, it's my work that I need to go and either, if somebody wants to put a different artwork there, replace it. But they drafted a document that I signed, and they signed that you know, makes them responsible, and that I'm lending them the work. So two things. There's a document there. I can pull that out and share with you. And then the other thing is, we should include the regatta as one of the spots that will host some artwork.
Yeah.
Right. That could be one of the places.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's good.
And
I think it's important that we be clear about what our aim is here too, because while our hope is that it will drive business, I think the reality is what we want to. I think what we want to put our energy behind is the collaborative aspect of this. That we are joining in with the merchants of our community and the artists of our community to make a statement, to welcome everybody. So just to be clear about the collaborative aspect, and not so much the driving business kind of thing, because
Well, I think one kind of goes into the other. They both, it becomes to become a symbiotic relationship.
hopefully, but not, I mean, hopefully, absolutely. Yeah, it would be the hope. And yes, it can become more and more robust. Hope.
Mhm.
I just see collaboration as the intention behind anything we do in the village, like with our neighbors. It's not different from what you're saying at all. It's just a side note.
It's a different, but that's the whole point of these discussions, is to find
Yeah.
out the different aspects, view it, because again, I had thought exactly about what Jackie had mentioned about, you know, safeguarding the art responsibility, because it's a lot of effort. It's our soul that we put out to people, and people have to treat that with respect and care for it as much as anything else, because it's like having one of your children stolen if something happens to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's just accidents happen, you know, I mean.
Well, yes, well, as I said,
Happens, yeah.
like the kid that put his foot through the Rembrandt, and you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
He lost his balance and boom, there it was.
I'm thinking maybe we can, as we move forward with this, we can get some more input from the visual artists and about how we feel about this adoption thing, and how that'll actually work. Because if I know I was the one who was speaking about the portfolio idea and all that, but as I heard you speak back some of that, I'm thinking, you know, what if like a tiny little place chooses Melinda, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And does that
Well,
work?
yeah,
You know, is
the
Melinda going to be
artist
okay
have
with that?
any say? The artist has say also, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So, or maybe, you know, we have to think that through. I don't think
Yeah.
this is the time because it's getting late, but I do think that is, and Larry, you mentioned that at our meeting at the harbor, you know, like how do you really address that dynamic of putting the two together in a responsible and
And I'm going to use the word, it's very
Well,
cliche, but I'm going to use the word brand as well.
Uh-huh.
A restaurant wants to have an artist that represents their brand, and the
Yeah.
same goes for an artist. They're
Right.
not looking to be, if they're, you know, if they think they do phenomenal art and it's expensive, they're not looking to be a little corner bodega. And the
Right.
question is, how do you then, you know, do the shit up as we talk
So,
about?
so this is where a curator comes in to the picture. You know, typically a curator is the person who picks the work that works with the space. I mean, I think there's going to have to be somebody that's kind of take on that role, and maybe the artists, maybe the restaurants get a choice of like one or two people, but it has to be a fit, right? Like exactly what you're all saying. It has to fit, and a juror or curator really is the matchmaker, I guess.
and we also talked about at the meeting that the proprietors can bring their own artists in, so that could
Yeah.
happen. And that could be a really natural fit as well. They
Yeah,
can
that's what Barley's, I
celebrate
think,
their
will
own
probably
artists,
do.
and then they
Yeah.
could benefit by the energy of what's going on in the whole village.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, okay.
We had also briefly talked about how the pandemic might affect people who would normally go into a restaurant without a second thought. Because if we're talking about May, it's probably still going to be hanging around in a considerable fashion. And so the idea was, well, how can we encourage people maybe to enter establishments that they might be reluctant to otherwise do so. And I guess the idea came up of maybe having a display easel in front of each establishment with a representative piece of artwork from the artist. And I actually checked around for that to see what people might say. I called a few art supply places and then a few rental places. If we were to rent easels, we'd probably have to, I haven't seen anybody locally who does that yet. It would have to be online, and it's probably those kind of very lightweight A-frames that you might find in a conference room, you know, with a poster board or a flip chart on it. Not very stable, and we were talking about security issues before. You don't want something that's going to be blown over by a gust of wind or somebody jostling into it. If we want to draw people in, if we still want to consider maybe having something on display outside, it might be an idea to ask each artist if they would bring an easel. It might be a matter of their choice, because again, Jackie, as you said, it might be, some might be reluctant because of a security issue, or even because of the elements, you know, even the ambient moisture in the air on a given day, or the direct sunlight could affect things. So there are a lot of factors to consider. I didn't delve any deeper than that once these considerations came up. I just wanted to throw them out there.
I think these are all good issues that, you know, will get worked through by the subcommittee, right? We're kind of raising the issues, and then you guys can kind of, you know, think about them and kind of come around and make some.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
The Greenwich Arts Council, Greenwich, Connecticut, does this every year. It's a festival. It's called Art on the Avenue, and it's big. And I wonder if it would behoove you to contact them and see what they're doing this year, and if they're still going to do the same thing. Have they changed the way they're doing it? I'm looking at their website now. It says May 6th, but I just quickly can't tell whether they mean 2000, whether that was supposed to be 2020, 2021. I doubt it was 2020, because I think we were all on lockdown May 6th, but you should, but the Greenwich Arts Council, they're actually a nonprofit organization. They're not part of the government. And they do a lot of things. They're still doing a lot of things. So it might be.
Okay, I can try and reach out to them.
One of my friends is on the council. I could ask her too, Violet,
right,
you know, and maybe get some contact numbers.
Okay. And find out what they do, how they do it.
Find out if what they're doing. Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, if it was a day like today with the wind howling.
Yeah. Oh.
There wouldn't be an easel standing on the avenue.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
And the other possibility, again, I'll have to find out what they're doing. Do they have like a flag? Do they have like a balloon outside of?
Yes, they have balloons outside every venue that has artists.
Right. So that would be something that wouldn't be
right
a big problem, but every, you know, follow the balloons, whatever it is that we do, that we get them then into the place. And if we're still doing the pandemic like it's then it would be X number of people are allowed in, but that's where they are right now anyway. They're in, like, they can only have a certain number of people come in. And if this isn't during their prime dinner time in the afternoon, where they would not normally be seeing people, again, that's the same thing. And then people can stay for dinner or sit outside in one of their little tent areas and see art.
I think these are all great issues for you guys to maybe get back together with and kind of come up with some of the solutions or more questions and come back and just keep working on it. So it sounds like you have a good start. So that's great. Let's move on to the publicity manual. Is that
in the interest of time, I'm not gonna, we don't need to do a deep dive into it. It's just formalizing the publicity structure that we have, because, you know, Robert's helping us now. Shara, you've already got, I wrote down what you did for the Arts and Crafts Fair. And, you know, I just want to have all of that live in one place. And we attempted to do that, and Kate helped us with that. So I just want to, that's what this manual idea is, so that we all have a publicity manual, so that when we're working on events, we just use the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
Just to formalize.
Will that be like on like a virtual manual on like our Google Drive? Okay, great. The next thing that I added onto the list was the Black Lives Murals, Black Lives Matter murals. I don't know if everybody got a chance to see the images. The mural was painted on the street. It's really quite spectacular.
It's amazing.
A lot of artists did some great work down there. It's down by Columbus Park. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Mouse did the
I thought it was
beat.
great.
Mouse Mosley did the beat. I know him. He's a nice guy.
Nora, what's
you
the
know-
general,
Mhm.
Nora, what's the sense in the village itself regarding the mural?
I mean, I think the overwhelming, responses that we've gotten are that people think it's great and it's beautiful and it's more beautiful than people thought it was going to be because there were some
Yeah.
individual embellishments and, it was a great experience. There were a group of people who designed it and Marie McNicholas and a couple of other people, laid it out and to gridded it so that on Saturday morning people could come and paint and, people just cooperated and social distanced and took turns and signed up for shifts. And I think it was a, overall great experience. So people seem to be very happy with it.
good.
So
Very glad.
I live right here and I look at it every day.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, I don't sense any traffic of people looking at it now that it's done. You don't see people walking by, you don't see people stopping and looking at it. So I think it's interesting as an event, it occurred, but I'm not sure the legacy of what it is what I'm waiting to see what happens.
I mean, we've gotten lots of emails from people who think it's beautiful. So that keeps on going. So I assume that those people have seen it. I think fewer and fewer people are using the station. It's not fewer and fewer, but the station isn't as crowded. So the foot traffic there isn't what it normally would be. But, and the swings at Columbus Park are opening, the new swing sets are opening. So, I hope more people go see it. It's beautiful.
I agree with you. The one thing is that it's so large, it's hard to see it when you're just looking at it. You need to be elevated to have a better
You
view.
get back from it. Yeah, there is some drone footage of it. And I think that's true of all of these murals because they're all better seen from a higher perspective.
Because they're on the street, right?
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
street, yeah.
And they're
can't see it
large,
from the
they're very
perspective.
large.
Right.
Right.
And same goes
So
for some of
good.
those murals that we had done a few years ago, the ones behind Miller's and up, coming down by the flats. They're actually far more striking from a couple car lengths back than they are as
Yeah.
you're actually going through.
But Elizabeth, the big difference is those are on a vertical. This is on horizontal.
Yep, that's true.
So to stand back, you don't really get the whole thing, and it is so long. You don't see from that perspective.
I understand that. Yep.
But what Nora said is also true. Examining parts of it as you walk through, it's very striking.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, the last item, has anyone, I missed this part of the last meeting, is the essential workers tribute. Have we had any thoughts on that? It was kind of, I think brought up as a, you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, some kind of event or some kind of response to thank, the essential workers for what they did or are still doing for us through the pandemic.
Who's that? I were discussing it a little bit after we were walking back from the Avenue home, and we kind of thought about two things because it's going to be so pretty soon. And there's not going to be really enough time for, I think that Nora has been speaking about maybe doing some kind of plaque at some point.
Well, I think the goal is to do something like maybe next spring or fall, not over the winter because it's really too cold to do something. And there's a very, and I think it would include not only first responders, but also all the village employees who basically stepped up to the plate and were first responders.
Right.
Even though they weren't in Village Hall, they kept the village government working. And there's so the rec staff built, which you've probably seen at Harbor Island Park, they did first responder, what do you call them? Strawmen.
Scarecrow.
And so,
Those are really cool.
and those
Those are
were
great.
all done. That was done by the staff as a thank you to compliment the Scarecrow Alley, where all of the families did their individual ones. But I think it's the idea of doing something that's something that's permanent, that's that gets done, you know, within, you know, next spring or fall. I don't think it's something that would happen over the winter.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
and it's up to you to come up with a creative
You know
artistic
what would-
idea.
You know, what would be really nice. I mean, a plaque is nice, but it would be really nice to have a sculpture with a
Yeah.
plaque. You know, a modern art sculpture of some sort.
I keep thinking of just like some kind of event where like they're called up and everybody can like see this person and like cheer and clap for them, like some kind of like real, like we know these people are doing these jobs. We don't always see them or know their names, and I don't know, just some real like public recognition, you know.
That would be nice,
I love that.
depending on how small or big because of the
Or a
the
video,
limits
like,
and stuff.
You're right, or you have like a slideshow, like a,
Yeah,
like,
something. I don't
like,
know.
Well, that could be
you know,
nice.
this is so and so, and that's what they do, and you know, a little segment on each of these people who we, you know, a lot of us do the same thing. We walk by people, we don't notice them because they're busy doing their thing, and you're busy on your day.
Yeah.
But they should be honored for their efforts. Seen.
Well,
Just keep thinking about this. So we have some time on it. I think we can come up with something really.
I
really
think you
good.
will. I'm
Really
happy to help in
Yeah.
any way, but I think you will.
Okay, thanks. Do we have any other business?
I would like to
Any-
say this,
Jackie?
I'm in the process, I have to move. I'm hoping I can still be in the area. Unfortunately, I'm limited with financial flow. So if anybody knows of anybody who has a studio in their basement or a cheap, very cheap studio apartment or anything like that, please let me know. I have to, I have Coco, so I'd like to be able to move with Coco. I have to move sooner than later. So I will, I do want to still do the marketplace because I do very well with, you know, the crafts fair. I haven't posted anything yet, but I will. I really still want to be a member of this. I would love to stay in this general area. The town of Mamaroneck is where I'm from and where I've always lived. And so if anybody knows of anything, please let me know. I mean, we're willing to
Will
sleep
do.
on the floor in someone's basement or something. I mean, you know,
We'll
I
do,
have to
Melissa.
move
We'll keep an
and,
ear out. We'll keep an
you
ear
know,
out. Something will come your
unfortunately,
way.
it's not doing well for my mental health on top of the pandemic and everything. But if I do have to move into a different neighborhood or something, I would like to still be in touch. And,
Sure.
you know,
Of course.
I will watch the video. At that time, I will do the YouTube videos. It's just today, I don't know what happened. But I do want to still be, I did enjoy my time as a member, even though I did, you know, I had more suggestions than I actually did things, but
That's we appreciate it, Melissa, and we hope for the best for you. We'll all keep our ears out for you, and
yes, please.
hope
I have
something
to
will
move
come
as
your
soon as
way.
possible and just
Okay.
can't.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Then
Jane?
Jackie, I don't know if you were ready because I got here late. I was
Yeah,
was
that's okay.
watching the election stuff and I totally forgot. So
Yeah.
did anybody talk about the 125th village anniversary? Because that's the date.
No, we
17th.
did not.
That's
Yeah,
coming
no.
up. I thought we had to do something or somehow.
It got so late, and then I was out of work several days last week. You know, as far as anything with doing something with LMC, that just not possible at this point.
Yeah, I'd say this, I
So
couldn't
there's
say.
so there's no
There's nothing going
it's
on.
nothing happening. Okay, we can't do anything.
All right.
I think maybe we should celebrate the 126th
Yeah.
pandemic.
Okay,
Why
sounds
not?
good.
Right.
Yeah, we had
All
planned on
right.
doing this, but it's
I have to jump off. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Bye, Marina.
Bye, Maria.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Melinda,
Marina.
Elizabeth, Larry, on my screen, you're all on the same
Wait,
row.
does
I'll be
everybody have to
calling you
go?
about the curating this week.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
perfect. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
make a
please do.
motion to adjourn the meeting. Let's
Oh,
just make a
I
motion.
adjourn. I motion to adjourn.
Okay, Marina,
That is the
and
next
second,
one.
Well,
Melinda?
yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Definitely
So
call me,
we'll-
Marina.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Jackie,
Thank
when's
you
the next
all.
meeting?
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Let's
Okay.
see where the exit is. Leave.
And Violet, we can talk, okay? You and
Yeah,
I.
we'll talk about when we're gonna meet up again,
Yeah,
okay?
I'll give you
Because
a
it's-
call
I think
after the
we
meeting
need
is
to do-
over.
we need to do a lot of